Alright, this is the last page I'm going to create. So we just finished up formatting with it. So this is the formatting page that I have right here with it. Let me save this before I'm gonna do the same thing as what I just did for the formatting from the for them styles. I'm going to do File, Save As, and in here I'm going to put it on the same date and directory. I'm going to do All Files. So instead of say formatting, I'm going to come inside of this file name right here. Remove that. I'm going to remove that and put that in quotation with it. So quotation is our last one with. I should do that in lower Q. Be consistent. HTML. All right. So I'm going to use the quotation. I'm talking about quotation and citation mainly with it. with it. So I'm going to click on Save. I'm going to go in, remove this part right here. I'm just going to call this thing quotation and citation. Okay. So just take out everything between the body tag up to this point with it as well. Okay. So here's the quotation. I'm going to save this. I'm going to see if I can open up the page that I'm going to about to open right here with it. So this is the HTML formatting, right? So I need to open up the quotation. It looks like this, right? So this is what it looks like. Now, we have a clean slate with it. So let me start documenting on some of the stuff that we need to talk about here. First of all, the again, citation and quotation is being used very, very prevalent in your presenting of your documents and everything with it. I'm going to use a quote that I'm going to grab from a website. Okay, so let's go to a browser. If you can type in, let's go to this quote right here. Go to this web page, and the web page is http:// www.worldwildlife.org who/index.html. All right, so I want to highlight this right here. Then I'm going to take it to the browser, copy it, paste it into the browser, or type in the browser, however you want to do this. And it takes you to this website right here. I'm just going to pull this particular quote in here with it. So, and here's a quote for you right now with it. Let's use this quote right here, this whole paragraph right here that we just pulled from. All right. So here's what I want to do is I want to copy that quote. So how do I cite something for a quote in our paragraph with it? All right. So here we go. I'm going to get inside of this thing. So inside of this, let me just tighten up some of this code here. So in here, what I'm going to do is I want to do a paragraph tag. And inside of this, I'm going to say here is a quote from this particular web page website. Close off that P tag. It looks like this. Okay, let me come back to that quote and citation, and let me save this, and then we, and then we save this right here. This is the quote and right here with it. Refresh this. Let me save. Control S saves it. Come over here and refresh this. And it looks like this right now, right? So I want to come into this page right now. I'm going to use what's called the block quote for this thing. So I'm going to do block quote, right? Cite, and I'm going to say equal, and I'm going to put that quote in. I'm going to put this URL right here, this address right here that we just did copy. I'm going to highlight that address, copy it, put it in that quote, close off that quote with it, right? And close off that tag, right? So here's is that quote with it. So underneath it, I'm going to do that block quote closing off of the block quote like that. All right. So what do we looked at that particular page? I asked you to highlight that text, and you hover over it, and you right mouse click on copy, and then I'm going to come back to the block quote in between it, right? I'm going to paste it right here. So this, what does this do? Again, this is for the accessibility guide, is that you're citing a particular quote off of a website with it. So let me save this and see what this looks like and talk to you about, see how that's indented in. And I just indented in, but when the screen reader reads it, they know it is a cited quote from a particular website. All right. So this is very important that for a lot of accessibility that takes place with it. So the next thing I want to talk to you about is the HTML cue for short quotation. All right. So something with a very, very short quote that you want to use with it. So you can use something like this. Let's do paragraph tag again. And inside that, I'm going to do WWF go is to, and then I'm going to use a quote, a cue. And I'm going to say build a future where people live in harmony with nature. And close that quote off with a cue, okay, and close my paragraph tag at the same time. Okay, so what does that look like? Control S saves this. Over here, refresh. So you can see a short quote allows you to put the whole quotation in there as well. All right. So a lot of the browser compatibility will let you do short quotes, block quotes, and a lot of stuff that you can do with it as well with it. The block quote is very common, that you would probably use a lot of it, and the browser element with the block quote, you can indent in a lot of the stuff that takes place with it. How about, let's talk about abbreviation in here with it as well. So HTML has what's called an abbreviation with it. So let's say you went in and you want to abbreviate who's who, right? WHO, World Health Organization, for example, right? The other piece is that you could do this. So if you went in and you went, I'm going to just use this paragraph tag right here. Yeah, let's do another one because I'm using another with it. Let's do the abbreviations. I'm going to open up ABR, all right, for abbreviation, title of who, world, I should say, World Health Organization. All right, close that quote, close this, and this would actually WHO, close the abbreviation on that one, ABBR, okay, close that off with it, was founded in 1948, close that paragraph tag. Okay, so what does that look like when I actually give an abbreviation? Control S saves that, and you notice that it's kind of like a little dot underline. When I hover over it, it pops up the word World Health Organization. Can you see that? So it just lets people know what is an abbreviation and what you do with that abbreviation with it as well. So so marking that abbreviation means a lot of things with it. What's important is that ABR, the ABBR helps, is that this helps. Let me just comment out some stuff here you need to know about this. For search engines purpose, for search engine optimization, okay? So a lot of search engines will actually help you to actually search for certain things, information in a browser. For search engines, excuse me, for browsers in here with it, So make sure you do the appropriate marking up the abbreviation for the browsers with it as well. Okay, that's where that comes in with it. Another one I want to talk to you about is called the contact, the address, the HTML address with this. So HTML, if you want to do HTML, the address element for contact, all right, information. So this is a little different format that you can use with this. So it allows you to actually define who the contact information, the author, the owner of the document of this. So for example, if I did address, starting with that, and then I'm going to come down here. Let me move that up a little bit. I'm going to say written by John Doe. All right. I'm going to add a break tag in here. Then I'm going to say the address, visit, make up some, visit us at some fictional whatever it is, and then do another break, meaning taking this down to the next line, right? And then you can write some example .com, for example, with it, right? And then let's give a break with it, and then we do let's do a box, P.O. box number, I don't know, 561, so I don't know, something like that. Disneyland. I don't know why that just jumped in my head. Disneyland. And then we do a break with it, and then this is USA, let's say, and you close off the address like that. So what does it actually this takes look? Let's take a look. I'm going to save this. Let me show you what this looks like in the browser with it. Is you see the HTML? This is the HTML that I just wrote up here with it, right? I really didn't have to. Let me just comment out that. Let me just comment this out so it doesn't become a part of that with it. So Control S saves it. Let me refresh. So this is what it looks like. Written by John Doe. Break. Come down, visit us at this address with this address. And you realize it kind of italicizes, kind of pushes in a little bit with it, slanted with this format that you have. Again, this is for search engine. That search engines a lot of time will search for a certain format that you would look for when you look into a particular document with it as well. All right. So just to the best thing here's what I'm going to do. I always like to do just break things and kind of give a separate line in between some of the stuff that we talked about here. So they kind of give us a demarcation and what's being separated here with it as well. So this is that last one we did was up here with it. So something that we break into so we don't confuse to a lot of stuff that what we're doing with it. So here we go. So let me do Control S, saves this, and I'm going to refresh this, and it just kind of breaks down some of the stuff that we talked about: an abbreviation, address, quotations. That's what you actually have with this, just to give you a feel and some of the stuff that we're looking for with it. Let's look at some of the HTML sites. How do you cite some sources on this as well? So again, I'm still in the body of the tag with it. So in the tag, I'm going to come down here. Let's talk about some citing in here. How do you cite something for HTML tag with this? So with the cite for work with it as well. So I'm going to do the paragraph tag. Let me check the time. Excuse me.